balance we got now.
Try to fight it, couldn't hide it. Always finds a way back. Doesn't time all this way for a light to shine through day. I'm slowly breaking again. Guess it's better off this way.
Bobby Witt Jr. does it again and again and again. This is blasted way back. Cal Raleigh, how far? All the way up to the second deck.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. It is an absolutely beautiful night here in Seattle as the Mariners and Julio Rodriguez welcome in the Royals. Kansas City had high expectations this season, centered really around a young core, led, of course, by Bobby Witt Jr. He's joined by Michael Garcia on the left side of the infield, both All-Stars last year. They've got the rookie Carter Jensen, who's learning from the best in Salvador Perez, and Jack Caglione in right field, who really made a name for himself playing for Team Italy in the WBC. He's the 6th overall pick in the draft less than 2 years ago. The Royals have had a bit of slow start offensively, but they have turned it around over the last week. In fact, KC has scored 6+ runs in 5 of their last 8 games. And joining me now is the 23-year-old Jack Caglione. You are hitting the ball harder than ever. What has led to that?
Yeah, honestly, the biggest thing for me was just staying behind the baseball. You know, making sure that I'm not crashing too far forward and really focusing on just watching the ball, to be honest with you.
It's so much to make changes from your rookie year to your sophomore season. What was your biggest focus this offseason?
Shrinking the zone, really playing to my strengths, knowing what I can handle really well, and just really buying into that and focusing on that. That's been the biggest help for me.
The team started off slow as a whole offensively, but have picked it up lately. What has been the difference?
Honestly, just the belief we have in each other. I think that's the biggest thing. This clubhouse is super tight. You know, we know that if one of us doesn't get the job done, the guy right behind us has a great chance of doing it. So having that belief in each other has been huge, and it's been getting us, you know, back on track and back to where we want to be.
All right, thank you so much, Jack.
Thank you.
All right, from one young player to another, the Mariners have a superstar in the making in Cole Young, who leads all AL second basemen in WAR. We're going to talk to him on the other side of this quick break.
La liga sube de nivel. Esto es Flow Mayor.
3-2. Polanco sends it into right and will send Seattle to the American League Championship Series for the first time in 24 years.
The Mariners win the battle in Seattle in 15 innings. The Mariners win it 3-2.
The battle in Seattle was won on a long October night. The Detroit Tigers eliminated the Mariners to the American League Championship Series, where they fell just one agonizing win short of the World Series. Here in T-Mobile Park tonight, the Mariners and the Royals will send it downstairs before the Mariners take the field with second baseman Cole Young.
Yeah, Cole, you lead all American League second basemen in WAR. You batted .500 on this road trip. What's helped you start this season so strong?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just being simple at the plate. You know, having a clear approach once I step into the box, and just trying to do my best to just stay disciplined to it, and you know, once again, just stay simple and just pass the baton mindset.
And stay focused. You seem to stay very focused. Everyone talks about veteran presence, especially on this team. Who's helped you out a lot?
Yeah, I would say J.P. Crawford's helped me out a bunch. You know, ever since I got called up last year, he's been such a help. You know, especially in the field, just you know, teaching me just, you know, little situations to be aware of, and you know, just staying on top of certain things. So he's been great.
And I heard one more quick question here. You have a lucky streak going with someone?
Yeah, me and Bryce Miller have a Snapchat streak going on, and ever since we started it, I started playing a lot better. So I think that might be the key.
All right, keep the streak going for you and for the team. Thank you so much, Cole.
Yeah, thank you.
Gonna have to send a Snapchat with all those sunflower seeds all over the brim of his cap.
You know what? It's a slow heartbeat. He did not stumble behind him one time. That is a veteran in a rookie body.
Cole Young, just 22 years old. Julio Rodriguez, not all that much older. Playing pranks.
Gotta keep it loose like we do in the booth, Weezy.
Our iPhone shot leading Julio Rodriguez onto the field.
Can't wait for our new iPhones to show up in the booth, baby. Perks of the job.
Well, you're the one with that main line to get those things happening. There's Brian Wu, the starter for the Mariners. Wu really has tremendous stuff. He's pitched his best in this ballpark, and he's coming off, as we mentioned, a rough outing against the Cardinals. He allowed 4 home runs in that last start.
Yeah, lack of execution, but when he is on, he gets a ton of ground balls with that sinker. The velocity can be anywhere from 95 to 98 miles an hour, but he also gets swing and a miss with the run at the top of the zone with that arm angle to the right side. But you see the four-seamer, the sinker, the sweeper. I want to see him use that sweeper and the changeup a little bit more, especially to the left-hand power bats in the lineup for the Royals.
The Royals stack their lineup at the top. Take a look at their lineup, brought to you by BetMGM. Bobby Witt Jr. hits in the number 2 hole, leading the majors in hits since the start of 2024. Michael Garcia will do his part, certainly at the top. Then it's Pasquantino, Perez, Jensen, Caglione. Those are the mashers, at least those are supposed to be the mashers for the Royals. Couple of young guys there in the middle with Jensen and Caglione, hoping to follow in the footsteps of Garcia and Witt, those 2 prospects that have turned into star players. The Royals hoping Jensen and Caglione can do the same.
You know what? Both these offenses over the last week or so are starting to really heat up, especially the Kansas City Royals. 6+ runs scored in 5 of the last 8 games, only 3 in the first 23.
Now this is the MVP of the World Baseball Classic, Michael Garcia. As the winning Venezuelan squad, Garcia had a great tournament, hit .385 with 7 runs batted in. He's carried it over into the regular season as well, starting with a .274 average to begin the year, coming off what was a breakout season for him last year. And freshly paid in the offseason as well. Michael Garcia, I know you like that.
Talk to me, Wayne.
Beautiful Friday night in Seattle, and the first pitch is swung on and missed by Garcia on that good fastball from Brian Wu.
See that running and that life action. Most hitters are really enticed to try to get on top of that baseball. When he has that velo, tough to cover.
The ball's in a strike on Garcia. Wu will throw that pitch roughly half the time, and there is another one clipping the outside corner, although maybe Garcia could have tapped his helmet there. You don't see that as much early in games. It's 1-2 on Garcia. Brian Wu had not allowed a home run this season until his last start, when he gave up 4 against St. Louis. His uncharacteristic performance for a guy who really blossomed into perhaps the Mariners' best starting pitcher last year. Smacked the other way, and there's Michael Garcia doing his thing. With 2 strikes, he lines a single sharply the other way.
Excellent piece of hitting by Garcia. Sprays line-to-line contact and damage. Swung through the first fastball. That one belt high, and we talked about it in the pregame show. Execution and being able to fall to mitt for Wu. That ball leaks over the heart of the plate and allows Garcia to put enough barrel on it.
It's the 32nd hit for Garcia already this year. Bobby Witt Jr. has 35. They're among the league leaders in that category. As Garcia takes a big lead off of first. Bobby Witt looks the other way but fouls one off. Witt has gotten on base a lot. He hasn't knocked himself in much, just a couple of home runs. Finally hit his first of the season last weekend against the Angels. Grounds this ball sharply. Crawford with a dive, smothers it, has no play. Everybody's safe. Garcia and Witt back-to-back hits to start the inning.
Yeah, JP has a lot of range, but because of Bobby Witt's speed, you're going to have to put that baseball in your back pocket. And the only play he had was the second, but second base was behind him, and Garcia sensing that base hit for Witt. Tough play. Witt hustling out of the box. We talked about it in the open. He's going to do whatever he can to be able to get on base and keep the line moving.
Well, that's all fine and good for the Royals, but this is where the problems have begun. Men with runners in scoring position have not hit for Kansas City. Vinny Pasquantino especially off to a slow start, hitting just .165 as he takes ball 1.
one of 6 left-handed hitters last year to have 30 home runs and 100 RBIs in the season. So he's an important piece, and also with the power, like last year, had elite bat-to-ball skills.
He's had some back issues this week, but he's good to go tonight. Pickoff attempt at second base keeps Garcia close. The Royals are 28th in all of baseball right now with runners in scoring position. They have not hit much in these moments. Pasquantino, a big part of what their offense can do, and he's right. You mentioned the 30 homer, 100 RBI year last year.
Timeout.
Count in his favor here. 2 balls, no strikes.
Often when you have a tough start, and Brian was coming off one of his worst starts of his career, sometimes the plate looks small and you try to pitch fine and you put yourself in situations in a hitter-friendly count like he is right now. Good pitch.
Who touches the outside corner there. Pasquantino just 3 for 31 with runners in scoring position. He's probably been the biggest culprit of their issues, although they are team-wide largely. Hits this ball hard. It's past the glove of Young into right field. Garcia's being sent home. Here comes the throw from Connor Jones up the line. Safe at the plate, Garcia. The ball got away. It hit Salvador Perez, who was in the on-deck circle. But Brian Wu was able to clamp down on it. The Royals take a 1-0 lead as Vinny Pasquantino comes through.
That's what he looked like last year, getting himself in a hitter-friendly count, getting the pitch that he wanted. Looks like he was trying to look for an interference call. Sinker, middle, hits it right past Young, who's been sure-handed all season long. That's a play he usually knocks down.
I mean, if anything, the ball hitting Perez worked out in the Mariners' favor, because that ball didn't get a chance to bounce around, although there was some contact between Wu and Perez there. But Salvador kind of stopped the ball dead in its tracks. Pasquantino takes second base on the errant throw home. He gets the run batted in as the Royals grab the early lead. The Mariners bring their infield in with Salvador Perez at the plate.
Very important for Wu to get ahead early. Backup slider. Salvy's trying to hit this ball at least with authority in the air to get another run.
There's 5 home runs on the year, and he's closing in on George Brett for the most in Royals history. He lines this ball sharply down the left field line into the corner. It scores Witt and Pasquantino. The Royals jump Brian Wu in the first. 3 runs on 4 hits and a 2-run double for Salvador Perez.
First ballot Hall of Famer in my book. He's been doing it at a high level for a very long time, not only defensively but offensively. Getting a pitch middle in, not enough running action, and he's looking in that situation in second and third to drive the baseball and got the pitch he wanted. Royals off and running.
And Brian Wu back where he was in his last start against the Cardinals, getting hit hard here in the early going. All 4 of these have been hit sharply. As Carter Jensen takes a strike, Perez smoked that ball.
I think there needs to be a game plan adjustment, and obviously execution is there, but it's part of the problem as well. But try to mix it in. Everybody knows that Wu's going to challenge him with the fastball.
Carter Jensen has been a bright spot with his offense, the designated hitter. Maybe he could use some more brightness in his bedroom, though, after he had an oversleeping incident earlier this year.
You know what? That happens from time to time, but the way he's conducting himself after that situation tells me a lot about his character.
Outside.
2 balls and a strike on Jensen. The Royals swept it by pretty quickly, and as they said, it was really an isolated incident with Carter Jensen, and not something that has been any sort of pattern. Live and learn, and crack the shade open maybe on a day game. Cracks this one in the air to left center. It's hit pretty well. Rosagranna goes back, but shy of the track, he'll stop and make the catch. Holding at second base, Perez, and finally Brian Wu has the first out of the game.
Rosagranna doing a good job of giving a glance of how much room you have. This is a very big outfield, and they're very athletic in the outfield, but also knowing that Salvi won't advance with a good throw into the infield.
So that brings up Jack Caglione, who stands in with 1 out. Light tower power for Caglione, and he's been hitting the ball hard to start the year. Hey! And a big home run for the Royals last Sunday against the Angels with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Hit a game-tying home run. Off his hands here, he hits a soft ground ball to second base. Cole Young has that for the second out as Perez advances to third base. You see these 2 young hitters in the Royals order back-to-back, Jensen and Caglione. And we asked Matt Quatraro earlier today, the Royals manager, how do you make that transition from becoming a prospect to becoming a solid major league player? And he said the big thing is just being consistent day in and day out.
The work ethic in learning how to be a professional, to get yourself ready to go up against the best in the world day in and day out.
As Collins looks at the strike. When did you learn that? I mean, you were in a World Series your rookie year.
Juan Pierre, he showed up to the ballpark early, and he really, even though it was a different position, he really taught me to say, get your work in, to be prepared every 5th day. And so I owe a ton of credit to Juan Pierre.
Nope. Off the plate from Wu, but he said that's really what has set apart Bobby Witt early in his career, to quickly transition from prospect to superstar. Michael Garcia has done that over the last couple of years, and now Jensen and Caglione are ready to make their mark. This is a pop-up off the bat of Collins. Might be trouble down the left field line, and it does fall. Base hit. Another run is in for the Royals. Bloop double for Collins makes it 4-0 Kansas City. Didn't look ominous off the bat, but Rivas went out and clearly struggled with it. Arozarena didn't offer much help.
30 extra base hits for Collins last year with 15 stolen bases, and a nice little 60-degree chip wedge right there in no man's land gets him another RBI.
Where's the left fielder on that?
That's tough. He might be playing into the gap. 376. That's a long ways to try to run, get that baseball down.
So 4 runs in the inning for the Royals. 2-out Bloop double makes it 4-0. And here's Massey out in front of that off-speed pitch from Brian Wu, who relies a lot on these fastballs.
You're already seeing an adjustment, though, by Raleigh. The first couple batters, the last 3 of them have seen breaking balls the first pitch to slow these hitters down.
Outside. At some point, as you said, the league starts to adjust and figure things out. Brian Wu's fastball happy. That's not news. His last 2 starts, that fastball's been hit pretty aggressively by his opponents. 1 ball, 1 strike on Massey. It's a strike on the outside corner. We'll give up 7 runs on 9 hits in that last start with the 4 home runs. And here today, 4 runs, 5 hits in the first inning. Bouncing ball should end the inning. Cole Young in position to retire the side. But 4 runs in the first for the Kansas City Royals, waking up the bats. A team that has had a slow start offensively this season, not so tonight.
Oh.
Maybe the Seattle starting lineup presented by BetMGM. Julio Rodriguez has worn out the Royals over his career, 371 average. Follow Crawford and Raleigh at the top of the order. Josh Naylor trying to get going. Randy Arozarena bats 5th. Cole Young down in that 7th spot against a good lefty, Cole Reagans, who delivers ball 1. Reagans with a great start his last time out, 11 strikeouts against the Angels after a performance before that against the Yankees in which he walked 8. 2 balls and no strikes here on Crawford leading off.
18 walks in this 27 innings. So how he commands the baseball, also over the rubber. Talk to him mechanically, feeling sound and going downhill properly.
Hey! There's a strike from Reagans, who had a breakout year in 2024. He was 4th in AL Cy Young voting that year, first-time All-Star. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Crawford. Dealt with some shoulder issues last year. Missed a lot of time with a rotator cuff strain. for the third year in a row. He was the Royals' opening day starter this season. First Royal to start on opening day 3 straight years since Gil Mesh.
Really good life at the fastball. You see the depth change of that slider, Wayne. It's got to hone that in a little bit more and make more pitches more competitive so the hitter's on it.
Ball 4. There's ball 4. So Reagans, who found the strike zone in his last start, unable to get going against Crawford with a leadoff walk today. We look at our pitcher's scouting report presented by CarShield for Reagans.
Coming off his best start against your Halos, the way he was able to do that, commanding the fastball, showing life, 95 to 98, retooling the mechanics like I mentioned, feeling comfortable with the release point. Very important for him downhill.
He didn't walk anybody in that start against the Angels. Struck out 11 with no walks after the 8 bases on balls against the Yankees. As Cal Raleigh stands in. Raleigh's heated up lately. 5 home runs over the last week and a half. One ball, 1 strike on Cal Raleigh. Both American League runners-up. The last 2 MVPs that Aaron Judge won. He beat Bobby Witt 2 years ago, and he beat Raleigh very narrowly last year.
Swing looks a little bit shorter to the baseball. Good pitch right there by Reagans, but you want to duplicate the numbers that you did. It was such a historic monster year, and 26 home runs in this ballpark is truly impressive.
Just missed from Reagans, 2-2. You were a 20-game winner in the major leagues. What was the next season like after you did that?
Every time I wanted to win 20 games within the first game. You know, that pressure to try to get back to that, you know, year, but you just have to really focus.
Swing and a miss. Raleigh down on strikes. Reagans has his first tonight.
See, that's what he can do, though, when he gets ahead of hitters, because the life is there. And it all set up with that nasty fastball, that cutting action down and in. A little bit deceptive, too. Has a little front shoulder back to the hitter, and all of a sudden the explosion comes out. So it's 95 to 96, but it plays up a little bit.
Here's Rodriguez fouling one back. Well, usually you have to wait till about the beginning of May for Julio Rodriguez to really find his stroke, but he's actually been swinging the bat pretty well over the last couple of weeks. Nope, it's up. Still a career OPS of 659 through April, with a career OPS of 825 from May 1st on. It is a fairly warm night here in Seattle, about 68 degrees at first pitch.
I thought I need some rosin. I walked to the ballpark. There was a lot of beads of sweat on Uncle D Train's head right there. But
so that's a bit of a hike from downtown.
I love Seattle. Love Seattle. Love the fans. Love talking to them.
That ball is drilled way out to left. The J-Rod squad is pumped after a ball in the second deck. I told you May 1st is Julio takeoff day.
Ooh, I thought that ball was going to fly out in the stadium. Talked about it in the open. Pure electricity, what he can do on the baseball field, whether it be offensively or defensively. He's one of the game's best players.
He's fun to watch. That's his 3rd home run. That is already the 8th allowed by Cole Reagans in just 27 innings. That's more than he gave up in 67 innings last year.
I thought the matchup, especially the way that both these offenses have started to play well on both sides, how are the starters going to be able to navigate these offenses? And so far, the hitters have won round 1.
And it's 4-2 here in the first inning. That last foul ball got a piece of Perez. him twice.
Yeah. Tough job behind that plate.
Tools of ignorance, they say, for those catchers. Josh Naylor stands in here. That's one in the air to right field. This one will stay in the yard. Caglione comes in for it. 2 outs. Quite a blast by Julio.
Yeah, well, those power hitters want to get their arms extended. As soon as he barreled it, he just admired it to see how far it was going to go. Second deck blast. Woo! Raising the roof. You know the roof is open.
There's crowd out there on a ball that was hit into Edgar's Landing in left field here at T-Mobile Park. Ball was punished.
Very cool.
It's no wall scratcher, right?
No,
there.
it is not.
400 feet to left. Arozarena fouls one off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Randy Arozarena entering today. The Mariners have not hit left-handed pitching very well this year.
Randy had 27 home runs last year, 76 RBIs, and was an all-star. Really a fan favorite wherever he is.
He's a dynamic player in his own right. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count, and he swings through that fastball for strike 3. The Mariners cut the Royal lead in half, and it was Julio Rodriguez smashing one into the second deck out to Edgar's Landing to give the Mariners their first 2 runs tonight. 4-2 Royals after 1. StatCast powered by Google Cloud as we take a look at Bryan Woo giving up some hard hits in the first inning.
You're looking at the exit velo, but also where the ball is hit at. He's built up. Once he hit that ground ball rate that we know and love, he's got to miss down in the zone, and also mix in that breaking ball to slow those hitters down and speed the fastball up.
The Car Shield scouting report on Bryan Woo.
Shake off that first inning. Your offense has gotten 2 back, and so you have to mentally be tough and continue to try to put some zeros out there and allow your offense to get back into it, and no free passes.
Especially this guy, Kyle Isbell, who has a lot of speed. No balls and 2 strikes. Isbell with 5 stolen bases on the year. That's second most on the Royals. He's hit a few home runs this year, too. Very good defensive center fielder.
That's a good pitch to me. You know what I mean? Throwing that type of changeup down in the zone to the left-handed batter. Now you can play off that fastball. Double up with the changeup down.
Drives this one to center field. Rodriguez steps back for that. Camps under it and puts away Isbell. 1 out here in the second. Back to the top of the order, and Michael Garcia. Bryan Woo is from Oakland, just like you.
Played on D-Train's Mini Marlins in Alameda, California. It's a lovely family. You could tell even at a young age he had a very deep passion and love and that charismatic smile.
Inside.
Went to Alameda High School before heading over to Cal Poly. 6th round pick. He was a walk-on in college. Took him a while to get going. Didn't pitch after the draft as he was recovering from Tommy John surgery. Garcia taps it to third. Rivas will play it through for the out. But this is certainly a development win for the Seattle Mariners to turn Bryan Woo in pretty short order from a guy who was a walk-on in college, not even available to pitch when he got drafted because he was having surgery, to be their #1 starting pitcher just a few years later.
Well, you know, you figure out how your stuff plays to the hitter. And as he got stronger, he started to trust his stuff and really trust that fastball life and run and get soft contact, especially in a ballpark like this. And you're playing off other talented starters like Gilbert that has more true straight fastball. So this staff is still the lifeblood and the strength of this team. And so if they stay healthy, they have a chance in the division.
Hey! Really initially built this team around pitching. And then they've added the bats as they've gone along, signing Naylor, bringing in a Rosarena. Rodriguez and Raleigh have turned into stars for them. Bobby Witt with the count 0-1. 0-2 as he can't reach that fastball. Wu, Kirby, Gilbert, Emerson Hancock has had a breakout season so far. They're trying to get Luis Castillo right. Witt stays alive. Ryan Wu doesn't really walk anybody. That's not part of his game at all. Witt fouls one off. He entered the season with the second lowest whip of all time. He's between Addy Joss, the Hall of Famer, and Jacob deGrom on the all-time list for walks plus hits per inning pitched. Right now, that number is 0.987. Less than a base runner per inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Witt.
That's why it's so shocking over his last 2 starts, just the traffic, especially early in the ball game, because he doesn't get squared up because of the movement in the life. Teams make adjustments, especially when you're the frontline ace. So he's learning.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Witt takes ball 2. It really affected the Mariners last October. They didn't have the full services of Brian Wu. What he put together during the regular season. They had him up for a couple of relief outings there toward the end of the ALCS, but not what they thought they could have gotten. Here's Witt floating one to right. Connor Joe moves back into position to make it a 1-2-3. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Goodyear.
Oh, Train loves the kids. Love that.
Well, you can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
Oh, especially this ballpark. Love T-Mobile Ballpark. The atmosphere, the fans. We get good baseball games, good food.
Check swing foul from Mitch Garver leading off the bottom of the second. Perfect night for baseball here. The roof is wide open.
A tad bit warmer than a couple weeks ago in the booth.
Bounces that foul as well. We were here for the first Friday night game of the year between the Mariners and the Guardians, and it was 52 degrees at first pitch that night. It's 68 today.
Weatherman Wheezy, appreciate it.
No balls, 2 strikes on Garver. Our Ricola weather report. We just gave it to you.
Ricola.
Garver sends one high in the air to the right side. Pasquantino in foul territory. Retires Garver. 1 out. Cole Young will bat after we check in with Heidi.
Well, you know, the Mariners have had a different starting second baseman on opening day for each of the last 9 seasons. Robbie Cano was the last time in 2018, but they've had a breakout season from the 22-year-old Cole Young. He is tops in WAR among second basemen in the American League and tops on this Mariners team as well, Wayne.
Now, barring injury, that list will likely turn over to being an every year situation for Cole Young. He has blossomed into being an excellent player on both sides of the ball, seemingly out of nowhere. He's still just 22 years old. He was a first-round pick out of high school 4 years ago. But the work that he has put in to become not only what is right now the best defensive infielder in baseball to this point this season, but also a very productive hitter. Chops this one right to Massey. 2 up, 2 down.
You know, Wayne, after his rookie season, Young was left off the postseason roster last year. But after that Game 7 loss in the ALCS, Julio Rodriguez went over to his locker and told him, hey, you need to get after it this offseason. You need to add some strength. He admitted that he got fatigued late in the year, and Young took J-Rod's words to heart. He gained muscle. He committed to eating cleaner, came to camp leaner and stronger, and is enjoying that breakout season.
That's all it takes. Just got to pump it up.
You know, the work ethic and understanding what you need to work on to be a professional, and coming into this ball game over the last 12 ball games, 390 average with 10 RBIs in the bottom of that lineup.
Connor Joe, the veteran, lifts this one near the edge of the infield. Michael Massey on the outfield grass has that. Quick inning for Riggins. 1, 2, 3. Was field levels here on Friday Night Baseball as Vinny Pasquantino leads off third, and a strike on a hard hit balls in the first inning from both sides tonight.
Yeah, both offenses look to be aggressive and got themselves a hitter-friendly counts, and you're seeing the capabilities and why both these teams had expectations coming into the season.
Vinny Pasquantino floats one toward the left side and foul ground. Rivas chasing and makes the catch. He had a long way to run to get that. He retires Pasquantino for the first out.
Yeah, Rivas is a solid defender and can play all over the diamond. So as soon as that ball went up, especially playing more towards the shortstop hole, gave a couple glances to see where that ball was coming up. The ball stayed in the plate, big out. Always key for the starter to get that first out, kind of resettling you back into the inning.
One out. Salvador Perez takes ball one. You have to say, though, if you watch and listen to our broadcast often here on Apple TV, Friday Night Baseball. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Perez. That the sounds are incredible. Dan Cochran, our audio department, it's probably #1 in all of baseball.
The sounds, the drone, a lot of capabilities on Apple TV, a lot of cool angles.
We hear it a lot as Perez takes ball 3. That it just looks different. It sounds different. The angles that we present, the different camera shots. I mean, it's just an extremely well-produced show, and we're thankful to be on it. 3 balls, no strikes on Perez. 3-0. It's a high pop-up. When you got a guy going into your team's Hall of Fame, you can live with a 3-0 pop-up every once in a while.
You know, he's one of the best to ever do it. Getting a chance to talk to him before the ball game and just talking about his impact in the WBC for Team Venezuela. He's still getting on me about waiting to sign that Willis jersey. I'm like, you don't need to worry about my Willis jersey. I need that Royals jersey with the C on it, that home one, because he is the captain and a leader for a very, very long time.
Well, he had the big hit in the first inning tonight, a 2-run double. The Royals have only scored 4 runs in the first inning all season. Entering today, they put up 4 in the first inning tonight alone. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carter Jensen, who in real time is being tutored by his idol, Salvador Perez, Kansas City native. Jensen was at one of the World Series games. In fact, he was at Game 7 of the 2014 World Series when he was a kid. He lines Finds one to center field here. Rodriguez coming in for it, slides and makes the catch. Wrong guy to hit it to in this ballpark. As Brian Wu has his second straight 1-2-3 inning.
Lauren Gardner with your Apple TV studio update. Let's get you to Southern California for the White Sox and the Padres. Top second, Munetaka Murakami with the 3-run shot to extend the lead for the Pale Hose to 6-0. The Japanese native now leads baseball with 13 homers. Wayne, how do I get a hot dog hat?
Well, you know people, Lauren. I don't think you need me to help. Here's Leo Rivas leading off in the bottom of the third. Boy, Murakami has really shined on the early part of the season with his home run power.
You know, and line-to-line home run power. I've seen him hit Apple Taco. Look like he was right-handed, one arm, and so nice little signing and provide some spark in the South Side. Playing better baseball this year because Murakami's in the middle of that lineup.
And there's certainly renewed interest in a White Sox organization that has lost 100 games or more in 3 straight years. Murakami with 13 home runs now. Colson Montgomery's hitting him out of the park too. The White Sox are certainly a better ball club than what they have shown the last few seasons. In an AL Central right now that is wide open. You feel like the Tigers and Guardians, who were the top 2 teams in the division last year, will find their way, but they're both 500 right now. The Royals have been over 500 in the last couple of seasons. They were a playoff team 2 years ago. They're trying to get there too. So, there's a lot of cluster right now in the American League West, the American League Central, and all over baseball.
National League Central and the AL Central seems like it's going to be a gauntlet, and they're going to trade blows up and down that schedule.
Leo Rivas takes ball 4, so Reagans walks a batter for the second time today. That's already 20 walks issued by Reagans this year.
You're playing with fire when you do that, especially leading off innings. And this Mariner lineup, they can chip away and really put up crooked numbers, especially over the last week and a half.
The Royals put up 4 in the first, but Seattle got 2 right back on a home run by Rodriguez. Ball 1 to Crawford.
Nice to see my guy JP healthy. Got a chance to talk to him before the ball game, and this feels different when he's in the lineup, not only offensively but defensively as well.
Hey! Jack Flaherty has walked a higher percentage of hitters than Reagans. They want him to believe in his fastball prowess, that he could throw strikes and get hitters out like he did his last start. 1-2 Crawford.
Sometimes you get in a situation where the plate feels small, and what I mean by that is you don't want to compete within the heart and throw pitches within the heart of the zone because of contact damage. And when I started against the Angels, he was doing that all day long.
Loops this one toward left field. It's falling, but it is caught by a diving Isaac Collins. Good grab on a sinking line drive.
Excellent jump by Collins off the bat. That's the only way he gets his ball. This is a baseball slicing from a left-hander falling away from Collins. Excellent jump, and he timed that dive perfectly.
He's really threw himself at the ball. So he robs Crawford of a base hit. Well done by Collins. Like the gold belt that he's wearing too out there in left field.
Yeah, the style and profile sometimes.
He's cool. Ric Flair. Wearing the big gold belt. There goes the runner from first. Raleigh swings and misses, and Perez will have no throw. Stolen base for Leo Rivas.
First move by Rivas. Looks like Perez really didn't have a good grip, and that was going to take a perfect throw to get Rivas anyway.
Raleigh struck out his first time. Pops this one foul.
foul.
Good pitch by Reagan to let it go by Raleigh to spoil that slider. Raleigh's looking like he's trying to hunt that fastball. Fouls it off and lives to fight another day.
As you watch Murakami hit all those home runs for the White Sox, you think about, at one point do you hit a wall? That was what they were saying about Cal Raleigh last year. And that wall never came. He just kept hitting the ball right through all the walls. 60 home runs by a catcher.
Not only that, though, what he does behind the plate and wants to play every single day, game calling. Platinum Glove winner.
He won that Platinum Glove 2 years ago. He tomahawks this one to the left side. Sliding stop Garcia, the one-hop throw to retire Raleigh. Good play by Gold Glove winner at third, Michael Garcia.
Garcia, excellent job going to his left, and he also knows Raleigh's not a burner. Garcia, nice little one-hop throw to get Raleigh out.
So 2 down, Rivas now at third base, and it's Rodriguez grounding one foul. Julio belted one his first time. 2-run homer and Edgar's landing. See Garcia make yet another outstanding defensive play. I don't know how you get a ball past the left side of this infield for the Royals. Rodriguez couldn't turn on that fastball. It's 0-2.
Reagan's trying to make an adjustment and tie Julio up. That home run was a fastball that was out at third. Those bigger guys want to be able to get their arms extended. Reagan's, you got to double up with that fastball in. Try to get the changeup down.
0-2 on Rodriguez. Made off the high one, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's crushed the Royals, 24 RBIs in 24 games. Swing and a miss here. It's strike 3. Cole Riggins works around that leadoff walk, takes down the top of the Seattle order, and keeps it 4-2.
It's time for a stage manager interview here with Dan Wilson. Brian Wu looked like a different pitcher in that first inning versus the second and third, really settled down. What did you see from him?
Yeah, I mean, a couple balls that got a little bit of the plate, and they were able to put a barrel to it. But, when you try to get to a guy like Brian Wu, you try to get to him early, but he's really settled in these last couple innings and like what we've seen.
And the Mariners are retiring Randy Johnson's number tomorrow. You caught him. What made him so special?
His competitiveness. He was just a fierce competitor inside, and when he took to the mound, it was often we only needed 1 or 2 runs, and he was going to hold them down. And just a tremendous player, tremendous competitor, and a guy you had to love to catch.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
51 is carved in center field here as the man of the hour, Randy Johnson, gets his uniform number retired. Poor bird.
One of the best lefties, one of the best pitchers to ever do it.
Leon out in front of that, 1-2.
And a huge part of baseball in this region. I mean, big unit is known everywhere, and you saw that mullet and that 6'11" frame, 6'10" frame. You knew.
Remember, 1995 is really the coming out party of Randy Johnson as a big game pitcher when the Mariners were tracking down the Angels to win the American League West. They went into that 1-game playoff, and hey, maybe he'll come out of retirement. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Caglione. The most memorable moment before that, before he really established himself as a big game pitcher, was in the All-Star game in Baltimore when John Crook had to turn his helmet around.
You want to talk about fear? Lefty on lefty. I got a chance to face him my rookie season, and I fouled the ball off on him, and he looked at me, and I said, "Mama, come help me."
95 winning that Cy Young and starting to really establish himself as one of the aces in the sport. And the Mariners traded a really good pitcher, a guy who won a lot of games, struck out a lot of batters for them before that in Mark Langston, to get Randy Johnson from the Expos when Langston was about to go into free agency. Boy, that trade worked out for Seattle. lot of good years out of Langston, and then he got even better ones out of Randy Johnson. Caglione to the left field corner, flies out to a Rosarena.
I love what Dan Winston said. Who would not want to catch Randy Johnson? I mean, he was simple with his repertoire. You know the blazing fastball, the slider down. But the consistency, you knew he was going to strike out 10 to 12 people regardless if he won the game, and he was going to give you a shot to win every single time.
Well, it's funny, the Mariners have not retired many numbers over the years. In fact, they've only retired outside of the number 51 2 other numbers. As Isaac Collins bats and pops this one up, Ryan Wu is on a roll with these pop-ups. Several pop-up outs, including this one caught by Rivas. They have 24 for Junior, they have 11 for Edgar, and 2 51s, Ichiro and the big unit.
With that arm angle, 4,800 strikeouts away. I mean, the longevity, the consistency, a champion. And when you think of somebody that has a mound presence, you think of Randy Johnson.
Well, he pitched till he was about 45 years old. He was the second most strikeouts of all time, only behind Nolan Ryan when he retired. Randy Johnson will get his number 51 retired alongside Ichiro's 51. So he'll be just one of a handful of teams throughout the major leagues to have the same number retired for 2 different players. Missed by Massey. The A's have 34 retired for both Raleigh Fingers and Dave Stewart. The Yankees number 8 for Bill Dickey and Yogi Berra. The Expos retire number 10 for Rusty Staub and Andre Dawson. The Cubs 31 for Ferguson Jenkins and Greg Maddux. Now 51 will be doubly retired by Randy Johnson and Ichiro.
Don't even think about it. Those 2 players in this organization. I just saw Ichiro today. You know what I mean? He's a fixture every year around here. It still looks like he can play at a high level. But as a left-handed pitcher, it is an honor that I even share the mound with Randy Johnson. I can always say that, and that's how transcending he is. Whether you're thinking of the CC Sabathias, who's in the Hall of Fame, we all talk about getting a chance to see Randy Johnson. And I'm an Oakland guy, so I've seen him come down there and put a whooping to my A's often.
The ball's 2 strikes on Massey. 1 and 2. There should be a festive day here tomorrow with a number retirement for Randy Johnson. Mariners players, they stick around too, as you mentioned. There's Massey with a fly ball to left center field. Should be easy for Rosarena. And Brian Wu has set down 10 straight. Big unit watching on as Randy Johnson's number 51 gets retired by the Mariners this weekend.
It is time for a Sage Manager interview here with Matt Quatraro. You know, early runs had been a trouble for this offense. What did you see in the first inning here?
Yeah, competitive at bats, just trying to keep the line moving. You know, using the other side of the field, getting on top of the fastball, and then Salvi was ready for the sinker in that he turned on.
Speaking of Salvador Perez, he went out and talked to Cole Reagans last inning. What were you seeing there?
I think he wanted him to just, you know, bear down, you know, get after him a little bit more, because we know when Cole stays in the zone on the attack, he's going to get people out.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
And something we talked about earlier with Reagans, just staying within the strike zone. As Josh Naylor takes a strike, and it's 0-2.
Well, that was a different world. I know it sounds so simple. If you get ahead and make that count 0-1, now you have options. You're seeing from both these starters already, when they get ahead, strike 1, it forces the action, forces hitters to have to honor all the pitches.
Reagans is right. He'll rack up the strikeouts. There's 3 already today. This is the mound visit. Salvador Perez went out to kind of keep Reagans honest.
Yeah, I loved it. I always honored my catchers when they went out there, especially in situations where I wasn't my best. They're, hey, we got a chance to win this ball game. It really set the tone in this series. Talked about it in the open that this offense is starting to go in the right direction, and they give you 4 runs. It's like, hey, we need to win this ball game, especially on the road.
especially against Brian Wu. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Naylor. Lines to right center field. That ball stayed up, and Naylor punches a base hit. Winning on the road has not come easy for the Royals. They are just 3-12 away from Kauffman Stadium.
This is a slider, and Naylor can do that. You know, he has a little Vlad Sr. in him where he can hit the bad pitches up in the zone, way off the plate. So let's go, guys.
He is developing quickly into the heart and soul of this Mariners team. They were so invested in Naylor in the offseason. They called him their #1 priority to make sure he stuck around after they traded for him. Incredible playoff, especially in the ALCS, as Rosarena drills 1 foul. Gave him a 5-year deal, $92 million. And they love his demeanor day in and day out.
He has fun, but he's hard-nosed as well, and he can electrify this locker room, especially when he's right.
He's turned into a really good first baseman, too.
Yeah. Perry Hill, infield coach, was the Marlins infield coach when I was there. Loved his demeanor and loved his, a lot like Ron Washington, where the consistency of work every single day is very important.
Swing and a foul tip, strike 3. Rosarena punches out. 4th K for Cole Reagans. 1 away. Garver will bat after we hear from Heidi.
And J.P. Crawford told me that Josh Naylor is the smartest baseball player that he's played with. He said he sees the game differently, notices things that others wouldn't. He's going to help guide the pitchers and the infielders with what he's picked up. He's had a big impact on the entire team, and as you can see here, he's not afraid of anything.
Hey!
Wayne.
I'm not afraid of where that bat was going to land, at least.
I'm not going to lie. As a pitcher, back in my day, he might have had some chin music. But I also got 9 home runs in the show, so I like to dismount on that bat flip, too. So I'm on the fence about it, Weezy.
I think if you would have played in this era, you probably would have been even more off the hook than you were in your own era.
Oh, man, we're going to talk about that off air. But, yeah. But that's his demeanor. I love that. He has no fear. He's going to play his style of baseball, you know, and you never, the one thing about him, you never hear about him being a bad teammate, regardless what uniform he's been in. Talking to Pasquantino right there, you know what I mean? The energy is there, man. And you hit a ball that far, man, that's the pitcher's fault. You have nobody but yourself to blame.
And a strike on Mitch Garver. Royals 4, Mariners 2. That was the score after the 1st inning. Josh Naylor with a leadoff hit here in the bottom of the 4th. Traded from the Diamondbacks last July. It's a quick stay in Arizona. Longtime Cleveland first baseman before that. Reagans dots the outer part of the plate there, 2-2.
Garver has some push side power. Reagan's 2-1 count is starting to settle in and land the secondary pitches at the changeup to even the count.
Reagan's fanned 11 in his last start, 4 so far tonight. Garver, a late swing, stays alive. 2 years ago, Reagan's was 2nd in the American League in strikeouts at 223 that year. Last year, he had 98 in just 61 innings of work. Full count on Garver. swing and a miss. Strike 3. Another punch out for Riggins. 2 in a row. Now 5 on the night. 2 down. Well, Josh Naylor, no stranger to the big moment. Playoff home run off Garrett Cole. Rocking the baby.
Said he's too little. I still love that he headbutted Terry Francona. Can we show that one? Oh man, he plays with a lot of joy.
3 home runs in last year's championship series against the Blue Jays.
He's a tough guy to pitch to because he can hit a lot of pitches with authority, not only in the zone but out the zone. That was a good fastball by Cole down in the zone. He turns him around, and so as much as there's swing and miss in there, sometimes, man, when he gets going, he gets locked in of pitch recognition. He's a tough out.
1-2 strikes on Cole Young. 19 runs batted in for Young so far this year. Leads the Mariners in that category. That's what batting in the lower third of the lineup usually is. He rolls 1-2. Massey. That's it for the Mariners here in the 4th. It has been 4-2 since the 1st.
Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. Tonight's odds are courtesy of BetMGM. We're looking at the preseason odds to win the World Series, and then currently, the Mariners were tied for the 4th best odds. They didn't get off to the best start, but they've turned it around, winning 6 of their last 7 games to end April at 500. But look deeper on this list. Phillies already fired their manager, Rob Thompson. The Mets have the worst record in baseball. They say you can't win a pennant in April, but you can lose one. Mariners at least heading in the right direction, guys.
And an interesting start to the season all the way around. Kyle Isbell takes a strike from Ryan Wu. Some teams that were expected to be good to very good have been anything but, and vice versa. There have been some surprises. Kind of how it is. You got to play the games, you know. It's not just all about the papers and computers.
It's a long season, but not a good start for some of these teams that have massive payrolls. You're looking at the Phillies and the Mets, and
the Mets especially. They're 12-21. They're losing tonight in Anaheim, 3-0 against the Angels in the 6th inning. And they said they're going to keep Carlos Mendoza as their manager. They don't feel like he's the issue there. I don't know how much of an issue Alex Cora was in Boston or Rob Thompson in Philadelphia, but at least the Mets are saying that those who have built the team, David Stearns, their leader of baseball operations there, putting it on himself that the roster has not played adequately and has nothing to do with the skills of the manager there. One ball, 2 strikes on Isbell. Now 2-2. It took a managerial change in Seattle. Scott Service had been at this job for a while. They weren't getting over the hump. Dan Wilson comes on, and the Mariners have been able to take those next steps.
Sometimes a new voice sends a shock into the locker room. Jack McKeon came in after the day after my first start in the big leagues. And all of a sudden, you know, the second half of one of the better teams in baseball. But if you're looking at the New York Mets, they're not doing anything right. They're not throwing the ball well consistently. They're not having timely hits. They're not defending at a high level. And so you're trying to look at what you can add on. And right now, it's not much.
And they've had their 2 stars out at 2 different times. Soto was hurt for a little bit. Lindor's out now. So it's tough for the New York Mets as they try to climb back. Although you look at the top of the East, and the Braves have the best record in baseball, and it looks like a runaway early on in that division. 3-2 on Isbell. Strike 3 call. It's the first strikeout for Brian Wu tonight. And it comes to lead off the 5th inning.
Excellent, well-placed fastball down in the zone. Even though they wanted that fastball away, he got Isbell the last at bat, to fly out with a fastball in, doubles up with that fastball, and locks him up.
Wu, no walks, no strikeouts in the first 4 innings tonight. Only had 1 strikeout in his last start. He has his first today. What a strike thrower Wu is. He has put together the best strikeout to walk ratio in baseball history. for a pitcher in his home ballpark. He's averaged 6.5 strikeouts for every walk here at T-Mobile Park.
Very repeatable delivery from him. Arm angle stays the same. You see some pitchers come back the next year, their arm angle's a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Everything's the same for him. So it's just about the consistency of execution within the strike zone down.
It's Garcia to tap one to the shortstop, Crawford. 2 outs. Twelve in a row set down by Wu on a pretty night in Seattle. As Bobby Witt Jr. will step in. One of the faces of the game, Bobby Witt. Lines this one sharply to left. Arozarena has it stay up long enough for him to tumble all over it and make the catch to end the inning. 4th straight 1-2-3 inning for Wu. Here at MLBshop.com, official jerseys, memorabilia, hats, and hoodies. We've got the season covered. Scan the QR code or visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. There is Raul Ibanez, who had some excellent seasons in a long major league career. Danny Tartable. Can you believe the Yankees traded Jay Buhner? Connor Joe sends one deep to left. This one a long way out toward Edgar's Landing again. Second homer for the Mariners tonight, and it's 4-3.
You haven't been afraid, Wayne, to visit Edgar's Landing right now. That's 2 shots that we've seen.
First homer in a Mariners uniform for the veteran Connor Joe.
That trident is heavy. I picked it up. Like, what case do y'all put that in on the road?
2 homers off Reagans tonight. It was a 4-0 lead for the Royals early. It's turned to 4-3. Kansas City, normally a team that doesn't have much first inning offense, had a lot tonight, but none since. The Mariners have scraped their way back, really slugged their way back. Ball 2 to Rivas.
Rivas doing a good job of not being overly aggressive, forcing Reagans to get back into the strike zone.
Hey! It's a strike from Reagans, and it's 3-1. Nope. It's ball 4, although I think with a challenge, it's going to be a strike. ABS challenge from the Royals, powered by T-Mobile. Leo Rivas walked his first time. He'll have to try again here, 3-2.
It's pretty safe to say Salvi always has the forever green light about ABS challenges.
Well, he's won 20 of them now. He has been one of the most prolific challenge winners among catchers in the major leagues. Only Will Smith and Agustin Ramirez have won more than Perez's 20. 3-2 on Leo Rivas. There's strike 3. So Salvador Perez wins that at bat with his challenge, and he's telling Leo Rivas right now, you're not winning yours with your challenge. Have a seat.
Yeah, he kind of sighed at him like, I don't know about that one. Love that we got that shot right there. He's like, I don't know, my friend. I love you, but I'll have to sit out on that one.
That's one I wonder if Dan Wilson has some thoughts about, because that's your number 9 hitter. It's not the high leverage situation. A little walk would certainly put you in a good spot with the top of the order coming up. want to save those challenges for the likes of Raleigh and Rodriguez and Naylor.
Well, Rivas is probably thinking that if I'm able to get on and turn over the lineup, especially after another home run, I mean, we got a tightly contested ball game all of a sudden. And Reagan's has been hit or miss with the command.
2 balls, no strikes on Crawford. Reagan's walked Crawford in the first inning. He scored on a home run by Julio. Crawford pops this one up along the infield, right at home plate, basically just in the other batter's box. Salvador Perez handles that. 2 outs.
Joe getting a breaking ball that just stayed up in the zone. That hanging slider. As soon as he hit that baseball, he knew it wasn't coming back.
Depth piece right now while the Mariners have Victor Robles out and Brendan Donovan as well. So Connor Joe has bounced around a bit throughout his career. So Raleigh takes ball 1. Royals have their bullpen out. This will only be the 80th pitch for Cole Reagans. 99 in his last start. He's at least 90 in each of his last 3. Royals, whoever that was getting up, has sat down. Three 3-0 now in Raleigh.
Reagan's tried to throw a changeup right there, hoping that Raleigh would off right and be overly aggressive. Good job by Raleigh taking that pitch.
9 homers now allowed by Reagans. That's uncharacteristic for him. Not so for Zach Littell, who leads the league. There's a 4-pitch walk to Raleigh. Does the sudden home run problem for Reagans start to lead to more of those issues where he doesn't trust himself in the zone?
1,000%. Because you feel like you're getting ambushed and you're making mistakes up, and then all of a sudden you have to pitch perfect, you know, instead of just being aggressive. And with this Mariners lineup, they can do that to you. And because you got to leave so early in the ball game, and they're able to chip away from the long ball, all of a sudden now emotionally you're swinging the momentum from your dugout back into theirs.
There's Julio, who crushed a home run earlier over 400 feet on the second deck of Edgar's Landing in left field. Rifles this one foul. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. How Rodriguez torches this one.
Yeah, exit velo 107, an angle 34 degrees. That's a nice little recipe for that.
It's a home run every time.
Every single time.
Reagan's got him with 96 there, 1-2.
Trying to hit that ball back to Vancouver.
It's challenged him.
Yeah, he got beat last time, middle in by Reagan. Tried to beat him to the spot this time. By Cole, trying to go back upstairs. Very enticing.
On that fastball a lot here tonight. As his Woo, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the heater upstairs. Reagan dials it up to strike out Rodriguez. Connor Joe hits one deep. Pulls the Mariners a little closer. It's 4-3 Royals after 5. South Beach, the Miami Grand Prix. Don't miss any of the drama and thrilling wheel-to-wheel action. Watch it Sunday live, 4 p.m. Eastern on Apple TV, the new U.S. home for Formula One.
Can't wait for my tickets for that Vegas one, that pass list. What's that like, Formula One?
Can only imagine. Vinny Pasquantino shows bunt with third baseman Rivas out near shortstop. Pasquantino had an RBI hit in the Royals' 4-run first inning. No strikes against Brian Wu, who has not allowed a base runner since the first. He's retired 13 in a row.
Pasquantino is so important, especially, you know, Bobby Witt's going to consistently get on. He has to be the threat on a consistent basis.
That ball is lasered way back to right. Pasquantino adds to the Royals' lead with a rocket.
As I was saying, got himself in a hitter-friendly count. Guessed right on the fastball coming. Got Poole happy. Big home run of Pasquantino. And that'll get an espresso maker. Team Italy.
It was the heartbeat of that Italian team in the World Baseball Classic. He had the keys to the espresso machine.
Hey!
And this is the first home run Brian Wu was allowed at home this year.
Two!
0-2 on Salvador Perez, who had a 2-run double in the first inning. Pasquantino, the first Royals base runner since that first inning. And he touches all the bases after that ball was just destroyed.
He has 30 home run power, and it's very important. Even in Kauffman Stadium, where that ballpark is very big, but to have that righty-lefty-righty combination between Witt, Pasquantino, and Perez, very important for matchups. And so, even though they're in last place, they're only 3.5 back, and so we talked about it early in the Central. It will be a dogfight. Good pitch.
Struck him out with a slider. 1 out, second strikeout for Wu. That was a no-doubter.
No, this is the Pacific Northwest. You can take that baseball back, but it still counts.
Here's Carter Jensen against Wu with 1 out. Pasquantino, just the 4th Royals left-handed hitter to belt 30 homers in a year last season. Joined a pretty good group of Royals from different eras: John Mayberry, George Brett, and Mike Moustakas. Jensen with a fly ball to left field. This one sends Rosarena back to the warning track. And he makes that catch. 2 outs. On the World Baseball Classic, Vinny Pasquantino had 3 home runs in 1 game against Mexico.
Yeah, they were outstanding. He even had a victory against Team USA in his presence. A lot like the way the team was structured. Not a lot of power, but a lot of athleticism. But he was the power threat. Wow, it's amore.
Well, Caglione was on the other end of some of those smooches from Pasquantino. And he hits a fly ball to right field. This one headed deep toward the wall. It's Connor Joe back all the way at the fence. It's gone. Italian power for the Royals in the 6th. Pasquantino and Caglione. Now that's amore.
You want to talk about light tower power, Wayne. He did not square that baseball up. Wow. To muscle it out of that ballpark. He was out in front. And this is why Royals fans are so excited, because he is the type of guy that can have 40 home runs a season.
Liner to left center from Collins will end the inning. But the Royals say bravissimo. Vinny Pasquantino. And Jack Caglione at 2 home runs, solo shots against Brian Wu. 6-3 Kansas City in the 6th inning.
Presented by Goodyear. We just saw Jack Caglione's power. He played for Team Italy in the WBC, and after hitting a home run in Italy's shocking win over the U.S., Topps made a baseball card of the big hit, which Caglione signed in the most Italian way ever with a "forget about it." You know, Jack is actually a big card collector. He said he hopes to get that card back someday. But Wayne, help me out here with the pronunciation. How'd I do?
Well, that's Jersey. You know, I'm from Chicago. That's Trainer.
Oh, stop it. Heidi did good right there.
She did. I think it was a good forget about it. Jack Caglione, Vinny Pasquantino. Josh Naylor. It was a foul ball. He was not hit by that pitch.
Yeah, it looked like a fastball running in on his hands.
Oh, yeah, hit the ball top of the bat after he swung it around a bit. Got some of Perez, too.
Yeah, Perez took the brunt of that.
One ball, 2 strikes. Cole Reagan's coming off his first win of the season in his last start. In position for back-to-back wins if he and the Royals can hold on here. Kansas City's bullpen has had some issues to start the year. Been without their closer, Carlos Estevez. They lost some games with leads, 9 blown lead losses. Only the Angels have had more so far this year.
5.3 ERA in that bullpen, third worst bullpen ERA in baseball, and so they're going to have to find some consistency down there in that pen.
Nick Mears warming up right now. Naylor waves and misses as Reagan's got it with the breaking ball.
You see why Reagan's ability to rack up a lot of strikeouts. Throws the fastball at the top of the zone at 96. It's like a pulled changeup playing like a slider. Changeup, lefty on lefty, very difficult to execute.
Thank you. Strikeout number 8 for Reagan's tonight. Rosarena has fanned both times he's come to the plate. It's 19 strikeouts now in the last 2 starts. Big left-hander from the Royals, Cole Reagans. This one's hit pretty well. Caglione's back for it. Out near the wall as he leaps up, and it's gone, I think. A home run for Rosarena. Ball was on the top of the wall. But it is an opposite field home run.
That ball is flying, especially to right. I felt like that ball got in on Rosarena, but he is strong enough to muscle any ball. Left field or right field. Fastball at the top of the zone. Looked like he barreled it off the label. Home run.
And just snuck into that spot between the top of the wall and that railing behind it and bounced back in. So that will finish the night for Reagans, who allows 3 home runs in this game but still leaves with the lead. 6-4, the Royals in front. MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select out-of-market games every week. Plus live radio broadcast for every game, game day 3D, beginning and minor league games. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Chris Young, now the general manager of the Texas Rangers. He was the one that traded Cole Reagans to the Kansas City Royals. Reagan's in line for the win despite Kind of a mixed bag tonight. 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 3 home runs allowed.
Well, you saw the ability to have swing and miss, but when he made the mistakes, obviously they were costly.
McMears, the new pitcher for Kansas City. Garver to pop one foul out of play. Royals bullpen has been the 3rd worst in the major leagues so far this year. ERA 5.33. Only the Astros and Angels have had higher ERAs. Mentioned the 9 blown lead losses, 6 blown saves from the Kansas City bullpen so far this year.
Here's one of the plus guys out of that bullpen. That's worked 4 straight scoreless innings since April 21st, so they're going to have to lean on him. At least get to the 7th or 8th.
Was the winning pitcher Tuesday in Sacramento. Here's Garver with an ugly swing for strike 2. Mears is from Sacramento, so he got a big league win in his hometown while he still can. He's in the 2nd of their 3 years using the AAA Sacramento ballpark as their makeshift home until they go to Vegas. Another check swing. Garver this time held out. Royals won 4 in a row after sweeping the Angels last weekend. They beat the A's early this week and they lost back-to-back games, setting it back to 7 games under 500 plus a 3-12 road record. Lead here in Seattle though tonight. Garver gives a long at bat here against Mears.
Look at the Kansas City Royals. You need more consistency. You're starting to see that offense come alive, but then the back end of the bullpen, it is really deflating in the locker room, giving up game late in ball games.
Full count. And there's ball 4. So Garver's on, and already some instant stress caused by the Royals bullpen. Well, the Royals were the beneficiary of it last weekend when they swept the Angels, winning a game where they were trailing 8-5 with 2 out and nobody on in the 9th inning. Now the Angels have 10 blown lead losses. They're losing tonight with their bullpen blowing a lead again. As you said, it is terribly deflating to a team that's doing everything right until the end of the game.
Like an offense that's struggling, you start to feel real pressure down there. And it gets contagious.
Two balls, no strikes on Young. Not necessarily any reinforcements forcing their way back outside of whenever Estevez is ready. Two balls and a strike on Young. That's another advantage that these Mariners have. Their bullpen roles are set. They know which guys are going to be used in which situations, including the closer Andres Munoz. Although today they did put Matt Brash on the IL.
Brash is one of the better 8-inning guys in all of baseball, and so we'll see how they adjust.
You all right, Salvi?
There's Munoz, who's had a couple of tough outings this year, but for the most part has been good. Although when you're a 1-inning pitcher, those tough outings will blow your ERA up forever.
Excellent pass by Young. They've gotten him out with breaking balls down in the zone, but evens the count. And see if Mears can try to go at him with that breaking ball to try to get another ground ball.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes on Young. Loops this ball over the second baseman, but Massey with a leaping grab retires Young.
Massey, excellent job timing the jump perfectly. This ball held up. And sometimes when you're running You jump off the wrong leg. He timed that leap perfectly. Now we have a mound visit.
2 outs. That's because the Mariners have gone to their bench and they've brought out one of their better hitters so far this year, Dominic Canzone. Will bat for Connor Joe, even though Joe homered in his last at bat off the lefty. They want the left-handed batting Canzone to face the right-handed pitcher here in Mears.
Canzone, .423 batting average of his last 10 games, 5 RBIs. So this is a prized weapon off the bench. Dan Wilson.
Canzone hitting .284 with an .860 OPS this year. Now we go back to around the middle of last August. Canzone started to turn it around. His OPS leads the Mariners during that time. 2 home runs on opening day. He's only had 1 since. So he looks at a strike here, but he's the tying run off the bench to face Mears. Hard Canzone hits the ball. It's this one straight up though. Shallow left center field, should end the inning. Collins calls for it and makes the catch. We've seen a lot of long balls tonight. The Royals carrying a 6-4 lead. Tonight, enjoying both 80s night and a lot of loud cracks off the bats.
A lot of loud noises, and that's why the score is where it stands right now. But I wish you would have known it was 80s night. I could have pulled out some nice suits.
Yeah, I'm sure you got all your stuff back in those days.
Bueller.
Cole Wilcox is the new pitcher. It's Massey to ground one to the second baseman Young, and that's one quick out for Wilcox. Brian Wu, for a second straight start, got hit around. About 7 last time, 6 this time. That's 6 home runs in his last 2 starts.
Well, it's the first time he's ever allowed 5 runs in back-to-back starts, and so the long ball has plagued him, and really the exit velo, and so sequencing and execution needs to be a little bit better from Wu. But you know, he had a span where he sat down 13 in a row, and so look at some of the sequencing of where you were and how you were able to get in that rhythm and go from there. But he's going to be just fine.
1 out with Kyle Isbell at the plate. The Royals 6 runs, 7 hits. They've hit 2 homers. The Mariners 4 runs, 4 hits. They've hit 3. Seattle trying to get back above 500. Kansas City just trying to climb back after an 8-17 start. Here's Isbell with a line drive to right center. Holds up for Canzone, who just entered the game in right field to make a running catch. A packed weekend of Major League Soccer kicks off tomorrow. First place San Jose hosts Toronto at 1 p.m. Eastern. Then Lionel Messi's Inter Miami squad faces Orlando. And Sun Heung-min leads LAFC into San Diego in 2 state rivalry battles. All coverage exclusively on Apple TV. The crowd tonight, 36,384 at T-Mobile Park. Figures to be another big one tomorrow to celebrate Randy Johnson.
Standing room only for that one, I'm sure. Always a great experience at T-Mobile Ballpark, in the stadium and outside the stadium. They love this club, and this could be the year that they finally get a pennant.
Well, it was a year where they won a Super Bowl. The Seahawks ran through the NFL this year on their way to their 2nd championship. The Mariners are still waiting for their 1st. Felt like it was right there last year, the closest they've ever been to the World Series. Whoever's standing here tomorrow will not be standing nearly as tall as the man of the hour, I wouldn't think. 6'10". Doesn't look like he shrunk down at all either.
Not at all. Not at all. Was a neighbor of mine. Well, I was a neighbor of his. Let me get that right. For a couple of years, and every time I saw him walking, man, those dogs look small next to him.
Even a Great Dane. Garcia draws a walk with 2 outs to bring up Bobby Witt. It's Garcia and Witt who set the table in the first inning, and the Royals banged the door down from there. Not something they've often done this season. Pasquantino had an RBI single to score Garcia. Witt and Pasquantino came home on a 2-run double by Salvador Perez, and then Isaac Collins blooped a double to knock in Perez.
Like this mound visit by Kyle Raleigh just to settle him.
This is where the game can get away right here. 2-out walk to Garcia. You've got the big Royals bats coming up. Mariners need Wilcox to put up a 0 in this inning.
Mariners offense did a good job of getting this game back in striking distance, but the Royals have done a good job, especially via the long ball. Right now they're trading blows.
To Bobby Witt. Wilcox was drafted by the Padres. He was traded to the Rays in the Blake Snell deal after the 2020 World Series. 2 balls and a strike on Witt.
With Junior looking for a ball middle in, something he can drive. Wilcox has that running fastball that you just saw previously at 97, 98 miles an hour.
All 4 to Witt, so back-to-back walks with 2 outs. Take a look at our Adobe standout scores with 2 long home runs from Pasquantino and Caglione in the 6th.
Yeah, you're smart to see this Royals lineup flex their muscle. Said it early in the ball game how this lineup is constructed with contact and speed at the top and the teeth of this lineup. And Caglione and Perez, they're supposed to be able to cover the baseball, and over the last week they've been doing it at a high level.
Royals 3 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. Mentioned their issues throughout the season so far, getting hits in these spots, but it has not been their problem in this one. Pasquantino's driven in a couple of runs. He looks at a strike. 100 RBI man last year, drove in 97 the year before. That thumb injury he had at the end of the 2024 regular season really set the Royals offense back in the playoffs. Garcia dives back. He came back, he played in the playoffs, but he kind of lost his way after having to recover from that injury and didn't help much in that postseason. Ball 1 strike. The Royals certainly have reasons to believe that they should be at the front of their division every year with some of these players they have in their lineup.
Well, you're always confident with a Bobby Witt Jr. What he does defensively and obviously offensively.
Nope. 2 to Pasquantino. Royals offense clicking a bit more lately. 6 more runs tonight. Two fooled there, and it's 2-2.
Excellent slide by Will Cox. Was a behind the zone. Pasquantino once again looking to hunt that fastball and gets wrong. Blocks him up and causes him to be in between pitches.
Swing and a miss. Wilcox strikes out Pasquantino to win the inning. Something is lurking beneath the surface on Widows Bay, a quaint island town off the coast of New England. After decades of calm, the old stories that seem too ludicrous to be true start happening once again. Blending genuine horror with character-driven comedy, Widows Bay is now streaming on Apple TV.
Gotta check that one out.
I sold it, didn't I?
Man, you are a talent. Should narrate it.
Leo Ribas leads off the bottom of the 7th. Well, they know where to find me, especially on Fridays. This is Daniel Lynch, who has been outstanding to start the year for the Royals. He's probably been their best reliever.
Definitely the best reliever. Really get great action, arm action. That's that nasty slider, anywhere from 87 to 90 miles an hour.
Lynch has retired 28 of the last 31 batters that he has faced. So now just 1 earned run to start the year. Leo Ribas takes strike 2 from Lynch at the top of the order behind Ribas here in the 7th. Mariners with a 6-4, rather the Royals with a 6-4 lead. Starting with a 4-run first inning tonight. Two and 2 the count on Ribas. Strike 3. Big hook from Lynch.
Yeah, doubled up with that nasty breaking ball. He was trying to cover that fastball after he saw that first breaking ball. Excellent pitch by Lynch.
Fouls one away. Lynch was a starter early in his career. He's been better as a reliever, though.
Like Lynch's pace doesn't allow the hitter to really settle in and think of a game plan pitch by pitch.
Line up the middle. Witt can't reach that. No, nobody can. Crawford has a 1-out single. Cal Raleigh will represent the tying run after we hear from Heidi.
Well, we've got Cal Raleigh and Salvador Perez both here at the dish. And I asked Matt Quatraro if he thinks Sal Perez is the Hall of Famer. He said absolutely. He's done his job at a high level for a long time. His attitude so positive every day that rubs off on the other guys. Salvi, one of just 3 catchers in MLB history with at least 250 homers and 5+ Gold Gloves. Johnny Bench Pud Rodriguez, the other 2, both are in the Hall of Fame, guys.
Here's Cal Raleigh as he takes ball 1. Salvador Perez certainly built a Hall of Fame candidacy, and Cal Raleigh had a Hall of Fame-like year last season.
9-time All-Star, 5 Gold Gloves. Yeah, see you in Cooperstown.
Hey! Right in there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Raleigh.
felt like these are spots last year, and I mean, Kyle Raleigh was great in every spot, but late in ball games when they needed a big jolt, he seemed to be excellent last year.
It's ball 3. The Mariners tend to score late. The Mariners lead the major leagues in game-time or go-ahead hits in the 7th inning or later this year. Here's Raleigh swatting one foul behind home plate, 3-2. Raleigh has a strikeout and a walk today. Julio Rodriguez has hit a home run. He's on deck. One great Mariner catcher in the dugout, Dan Wilson. Watching another at the plate with his team down by 2 and a man on. Raleigh, it's a grounder foul.
And the first time we saw Kyler now, like his swing seems to be a little bit shorter to the baseball. Pitch recognition a little bit better. Well, what Dan Wilson talked about as the course of the season, guys get more settled in.
It's another roller foul. That one not far off the line, but Raleigh still to count 3-2. This Statcast powered by Google Cloud. 7 homers this year for Raleigh. He's at 5 in the last 8 games.
Yeah, you can tell, especially the power to the left side of the plate. Obviously, he's going to face more right-handers, but that's also another component that's really impressive. For him to switch hit and still be a threat on both sides consistently.
He hit 22 home runs right-handed last year. It wasn't just all from the left side. First switch hitter in Major League history to hit 20 from each side of the plate in the same year. You're seeing Daniel Lynch here in the 7th. 3-2 the count. Raleigh strikes out. Fastball ran away, and Lynch gets the punch out. 2 down.
Lynch doubling up with that fastball. Raleigh did a good job of covering the off-speed pitches in the middle part of the bat, and that is just a fastball that takes off out the zone.
And here's Julio with that 2-run homer in the first. Parked it on top of Edgar's in that first inning as he swings through this 0-1. Daniel Lynch, the 4th. First player in Major League history to have the 4th on his jersey. Rodriguez sends one center field. It's deep. It's his bell at the wall. He leaps. It's gone. Julio ties it up with a 2-run homer to straightaway center.
It's a bad man, Wayne. He can win ball games by himself, and you called it. Gets a little warmer in Seattle. That's when his back gets warmer, and he's impactful.
Well, it's May 1st. It's Julio takeoff day. And he has sent 2 mammoth shots out of here.
Even the lawman getting the photo.
Josh Naylor bounces one out.
Give me some love for that one.
Well, the first one was more majestic. This was just a line drive that went 416 feet, clearing the wall in the deepest part of the ballpark. Oh. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Naylor. So Lynch, who has been the Royals' best reliever, falters tonight. And once again, the Royals bullpen in trouble holding a lead. Naylor pops it up to Witt, which ends the 7th, but it's a brand new ball game. 2 homers tonight, and the J-Rod squad lifting the Mariners. It's 6-6 in Seattle. Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. Seattle Mariners superstar center fielder raising the roof on T-Mobile Park tonight with 2 home runs, including a game-tying shot in the 7th.
Love how this he embrace and the fans embrace him, and he always comes to the ballpark with a smile.
The pitcher Jose Ferrer, as Salvador Perez fouls one off the mask of Raleigh. A couple all-star catchers. Perez a 5-time all-star. And Ferrer's been a good addition to the Mariner bullpen. An already talented group. They'll be without Brash for a little bit. That's a big loss.
Well, Munoz's slider, but Brash's slider, oh, man. He was locked in. Watch out.
There's a liner to left center field. This one headed for the gap. A base hit for Perez. Rodriguez tried to cut it off, but stumbled over it. Perez will get to second base and has a leadoff double. Second 2-bagger for Perez tonight.
Salvi getting that foot down, the slider. Let her high. Julio just bounces under his glove and allows Perez to advance to second.
Not sure if he gets there without that bobble.
Not sure he wanted to go around and way around at first base. A little grimace right there.
There's Carter Jensen fouling one off. Matt Brash on the injured list with a lat injury. The Mariners said there was nothing structurally wrong, but they want to give him a break anyway.
Yeah, he's just too important down the stretch, and this Mariners club feel like they should be there down the stretch.
Perez trying for third base as Jensen bounces out to short. 1 out. The go-ahead run now at third. It's Salvador Perez, and here's Heidi.
Yeah, Perez is just 9 homers shy of tying George Brett for most homers in Royals franchise history. He told me today he wants to play 2 more years. He's under contract next season, wants to play in 2028 as well. He said he'll be 39 at the end of that season and probably ready to hang it up then, Wayne.
Well, certainly one of the great Kansas City Royals of all time. He'll have that home run record in due time over George Brett. For whatever George Brett meant and still means to the Royals organization, Salvador Perez is not too far behind.
When you think about class, when you think about joy, the constant presence of leadership, you think of Sal Perez and what he means to that city and that organization. There will never be another Sal Perez ever again.
Here's Lane Thomas pinch hitting for Caglione with Perez at third. I was just hoping for some contact here from the righty against the left-handed hard-throwing Ferrer.
Ferrer touching 99 from the left side. Getting ahead with that fastball early.
Thomas had a big moment last Sunday against the Angels with a walk-off home run. His first homer in a Royals uniform. 1 ball, 1 strike on Thomas. Thomas hunting left-handed pitchers. Swats this one to right center and has a go-ahead hit. Perez comes home. The Royals get the lead right back as Lane Thomas delivers a pinch hit go-ahead single.
.291 career batting average against left-handed pitching. Took a big swing on that first fastball up, but shortened that swing once he gauged the fastball velocity of Ferrer.
It's the Mariners bullpen with a letdown here in the 8th inning. As Thomas just guides that one to right center field. Collins fouls one off.
Nice piece of hitting, bat to ball skills. You try to get too big right there. That's tough to keep that baseball barely down on you fair. And exactly why they have Thomas.
The Royals performing with men in scoring position tonight. 4 hits in 9 tries. Swing and a miss by Collins. Ferrer pulled the string on him for strike 3.
Excellent changeup. You always have to honor the fastball velocity. Ferrer's landing that changeup, gets Collins way out in front.
Left on left here as Massey bats with 2 outs. Runner going. And a ground ball perfectly hit through the hole. Thomas goes to third base. The Royals with the hit and run working exactly as they hoped.
Lefty on lefty, hit and run, and Massey doing an excellent job allowing the baseball to travel deep. Short, easy swing, and make sure that ball is on the ground. That's old school baseball at its finest. Try to steal another run late in the ball game.
And the batter Isbell, and you can never count out the bunt with Isbell. With 2 outs, you can see Rivas pinching in at third. 0-1 from Ferrer.
Isbell is looking to the left side of the diamond, hoping that Ferrer continues to throw that fastball and that slider away from him, especially with the third baseman playing in for the bunt.
Kansas City had a 4-0 lead early, then 6-4. Royals allowed the Mariners back into it. They've recaptured the lead here in the 8th. Still some tough outs to get down the stretch for both teams here. Isbell jammed as he bounces it to first. Naylor throws to second base, and they get the runner there to win the inning. Royals take the lead. Lane Thomas with a go-ahead pinch hit single. It's 7-6 Kansas City. Sage pitching decisions tonight. Cole Riggins had 8 strikeouts in this game, but also gave up 3 home runs.
Well, you saw the life in the command even after some of the loud contact. But for me, being able to have that 4-seam fastball, set up the slider, but like we saw in the pregame show, that 4-seam fastball plays even if the velo is a tick down. He's going to get swing and miss a lot at the top of the zone.
Matt Strahm back in the Royals organization this year, and he'll pitch this 8th inning with a 1-run lead. Upstairs to Rosarena.
ABS challenge right here.
Powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch is confirmed. It is a ball. Kansas City has one
That
down.
close either. That's right in there from Strom, and it's 2-1.
Excellent breaking ball, 2-0 count. Good call by Salvi Perez to just try to land something to fight back into the count. Don't want to give another free pass. Very important for the Royals. Try to get a shutdown inning. If you're the Mariners, you're doing everything you can to provide some traffic.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. Strom was originally drafted by the Royals and came up through their system. His major league debut with Kansas City a decade ago, as you see Thomas go-ahead hit last inning now in right field. That's their strike three. Frozen with the fastball. Third strikeout for Rosarena tonight. Is he challenging that? It's right down the middle.
Calls confirmed. The pitch.
Tough two talents for the Ants tonight.
No challenges.
That's all over the zone.
He's thinking that ball is down, but that fastball stayed true through the zone.
That was a perfect pitch by Strom.
Why did you tell me? I wouldn't have tapped my head. That's what he said.
Maybe Salvi said, hey, think about that one.
Fish hooked him with that challenge and burned that one.
One out, nobody on with Garver at the plate.
Inside.
Strom was traded from the Phillies to the Royals in the offseason after a couple of really good years with Philadelphia. 3 very good seasons there. Was an all-star 2 years ago. Trying to hold this Royals lead down with Lucas Erceg ready for the 9th inning as their closer.
Even though Garver doesn't have a hit today, I feel like his bats have been quality as far as grinding the pitcher down and really getting himself in hitter-friendly counts.
Ball 4. It's Garver reaching with 1 out. Second time he's walked tonight. Brings up Cole Young with Garver at first. Royals have largely been the team in front tonight. The Mariners haven't gone away as Young flips one toward right. Long run for Thomas coming in. And he gets there for the second out. I'll bring up Canzone against the lefty. Luke Raley is going in a run for Garver at first. Canzone doesn't hit much against lefties. This is only his 6th plate appearance against the left-handed pitcher this year. He's 0 for 3. Takes ball 1 from Strom. Now they brought in Rob Refsnyder, but he hasn't really hit much. So they're sticking with Canzone here as you see Raley at first.
Raley obviously being held, so there's a hole on the right side for Canzone.
Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike, and you just see the lack of comfort for Canzone against the lefty.
He wasn't thinking about that hole on that type of swing. He was trying to take the lead.
Foul pass first. 2 other games going on right now. Cleveland leads the A's 8-5. They're in the 8th inning in Sacramento. White Sox are all over the Padres 8-2 tonight. Mentioned the Murakami home run earlier. Runner going. Canzone swings and misses for strike 3. So Matt Strom puts up a 0 in the 8th. The Royals clinging to a 1-run lead. Copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Highlights from WBCs of the past, including Shohei and Team Japan. Michael Garcia, the MVP of the 2026 World Baseball Classic, will lead off the top of the 9th against Alex Hoppe, the new pitcher for Seattle.
You can just see the growth from Garcia from last year, obviously into the WBC, and now that he's someone that's athletic, gifted in the hot corner, provide consistently quality at bats.
Single and a run scored tonight, setting up that Royals 4-run first inning. Kansas City's woes offensively, well, we haven't seen any of them tonight. They've hit well with runners in scoring position. They've hit the ball out of the ballpark. They've added to their lead. They've even recaptured a lead after the Mariners tied it up, thanks to 2 home runs from Julio Rodriguez tonight. Top of the order due up in this 9th inning as the Royals look to add to the lead. Garcia couldn't hold his swing there. It's 2-2. After a pitch out of the zone there, you don't see that too much from Garcia. He strikes out. 1 away. Well, Venezuela, led by Michael Garcia, defeated Bobby Witt Jr. and Team USA in that final of the WBC, but Bobby Witt certainly made his presence felt for the American team.
I mean, it seemed like every ball game he was making this play at ease, and Kansas City Royals fans were like, man, that's a light day for him.
Ball 1. Both of these teams were well represented in the WBC. Cal Raleigh was with Team USA. It's Julio with the Dominican Republic. Randy Arozarena played for Team Mexico. Naylor on the Canadian team. Ball 1 strike on Witt. Pasquantino and Caglione on the Italian squad.
Each year, more and more guys are getting really excited about participating and really representing their country. And you're seeing the intensity each year get better and better.
It's a check swing, and Raleigh grabs it in foul ground. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th. Raleigh's going to get an at bat. Maybe Rodriguez will too. Seattle would love to give Julio one more crack to win this thing. One ball, 2 strikes on Witt. Inside out swing and a flare down the line, foul. Out 2 in a row.
Hoppe with that good fastball once again, back-to-back strikeouts on that fastball. One up in his zone. This one is thrown right through Colorado's chest. Excellent job slowing him down, and all of a sudden at 97 that fastball plays up with a little late movement at the end.
Just the second major league appearance for Hoppy, but here he is as a 27-year-old rookie, just dialing it up to 97, 98 on some of the best hitters in the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of these young men that are coming up in the big leagues that says that type of stuff.
0-2 on Pasquantino.
Sliders at 88, 90 miles an hour, so the ability to be able to manipulate the baseball. High-level stuff.
His major league debut earlier in the week in Minnesota. Pitching in a mop-up role. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, gave up 3 runs. But here tonight in a 1-run game, trying to keep it close against the top of the Kansas City order. And Hoppy's been up to the test here today. And he strikes out the side in just his second major league game. Julio Rodriguez has surged into the month of May. 2 long home runs tonight. First into the second deck in left field. The second a line drive laser, which tied the game at that point.
Is showing his ability, especially to cover the baseball at the plate. Hoping he can get him up one more time.
Statcast powered by Google Cloud on the 2 long home runs from Julio in this game.
No such thing as a cheap home run in this ballpark, that's for sure.
Mariners will need a base runner to give Rodriguez a swing here in the 9th inning. It's ball 1 to Leo Rivas from the Royals closer Lucas Ersteg, who is celebrating his 31st birthday today. He's been wilder than usual to start the year. 10 walks in 12 innings. He's walked at least 1 hitter in 6 straight games.
Opponents are hitting just 133 for his last 5 outings. I agree with you, the walks have to be cleaned up, especially the back end.
Especially with a 1-run lead, and Julio Rodriguez hoping for a chance. There's ball 2 to Rivas. Rivas has walked and struck out twice today. Has a stolen base as well. That's a strike. Remember, the Mariners are out of challenges largely because of 2 pitches that were clearly strikes. One that Rivas challenged on a 3-2 pitch, and the other a Rosarena challenge that was practically right down the middle. Two and 2 the count. And there's ball 3. Crawford, then Raleigh, then Rodriguez. Rivas trying to set the table for the Stars behind him. Pops it up. Should be caught by Garcia in foul ground, and it is. 1 out.
Always that first out, very important in the 9th, especially on the road. Battling back 3-2 count. Getting that fastball right where you need to.
Royals trying to start this series in Seattle with a win. Road wins have been few and far in between for Kansas City. As Crawford comes up empty, the Royals just 3-12 on the road. It's a strike and it's 0-2. Crawford hopes to use his patience. Now that he's behind 0-2, that's out the window.
Now you're swung through the first fastball, took the second one, and now you're just thinking, like, what pitches do I kind of eliminate? Try to put something in play and get on base.
7-6 Royals, bottom of the 9th. Crawford takes ball 1. Crawford has scored on both of Julio's home runs tonight.
Pass by JP right there behind the count. Got a fastball that's sneaking out over the plate.
That's there for strike 3. Ursack dots the inside corner and strikes out Crawford.
Ursack, excellent.
Well, 2 outs. If Rodriguez is going to get another chance, it's going to have to be Cal Raleigh to reach base. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and Raleigh pops it up. Julio Rodriguez with 2 homers tonight left in the on-deck circle. Bobby Witt puts it away, and a road win for the Royals as they outslug the Mariners tonight 7-6.
That was a gritty win by the road team. Blew the lead late, but their scrappiness, being able to steal another run, led by the captain Sal Perez, being able to score late. This is the type of victory, especially on the road, where they struggle to really get the Royals going.
Lucas Ursack, a 1-2-3 bottom of the 9th. Good birthday present for him as he earns his 8th save. The Royals win it here tonight to start this series, beating the Mariners 7-6 at T-Mobile Park.
Both offenses really getting going. You saw power from both offenses. Mariners, they're going to continue to score. If you look at the Royals, finding some rhythm in the back end of that bullpen we talked about during the game, and timely hits that were missing. They were absolutely outstanding with runners in scoring position tonight.
The Royals did what they could with their offense tonight. The Mariners dropped back under 500 with the loss today. Salvador Perez, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and 2 runs batted in. A big part of this Royals win. He's with Heidi Walker.
Yeah, Salvi, 2 doubles, 2 RBI. You're the best. You guys jumped all over Brian Wu in the first. What happened in that inning?
We just tried to be aggressive. We know he liked to throw a lot of fastball, and his fastball is special. His fastball going up, one of the best fastball in the league. So we tried to be aggressive with him. He licked up a pitcher in the middle, and we put some pretty good swing.
In the 3rd inning, you went out and talked to Cole Reagans. What do you say in that situation?
I don't think I can say here what I say to him. But, you know, try to keep him in the game. You know, I don't think it was the best for him tonight. Just try to keep him positive. Like, hey, you're the best. Okay, attack. He followed behind the count a little bit tonight. So, but he did it. He did it, and he Junior right there. And he's doing a pretty good job to that. He got you.
He got both of us. You and Bobby, who just sprayed us with some water here. You have such a great relationship with him. You guys are the backbone of this team. What makes him such a great player?
I think his dad doing a pretty good job. You know, growing up, hanging in the clubhouse. His dad played 16 years in big league, so I think he learned a lot about that. And he's one of the best in the league.
His team's offense has taken off. You've scored 6+ runs in 6 of the last 9 games. What's been the difference for the team as a whole?
I think it's part of the game. You know, the game is hard. We came every day to the clubhouse, to the stadium to prepare ourselves, work hard, and get ready for the game. So I think it's going to go up and down as a hitter. You know, we just need to be positive, keep doing our job.
Well, when they have you to lead the team, that's going to do well. Thank you so much, Salvi.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
You too. Back to you guys.
Royals found their clutch hitting genes tonight, and they take care of the Mariners on the road. 7-6 the final. Salvador Perez, couple of runs batted in tonight. The Royals hit some homers as well. Held off Julio's 2 home runs in the Mariners tonight. We'll be back to wrap things up from Seattle.
Come cruise the city with me.